Howdy, folks. I'm the Old Ranger with an exciting new story of real life in the Old West.
Of the thousands who poured into California during the gold rush days, only a few succeeded in extracting great wealth from the soil. Some, however, struck rich pay dirt in other fields. Philip Armour as a meat packer, John Studebaker as a manufacturer of horseless carriages, Mark Twain as a writer, and Levi Strauss, the tailor who rounded the horn aboard a clipper ship in the fall of 1850, as the accidental discoverer of the $1 million pants.
Sure, and the fog is getting worse, wouldn't you say, Levi?
Got something to do with the currents off the California coast. San Francisco can't be more than...
Well, you can take the man out of the steerage, but not the steerage out of the man.
Well, no, I didn't bump into you on purpose, Mr. Laycock.
Didn't you feel the ship lurch?
Yes. Well, maybe it lurches more for those with a taste for Irish whiskey.
Well, no, if I was a drinking man, I'd let go of the good one.
Easy, Pat.
Well, you'd think he owned the whole ship.
Maybe he does. His father's bank has got a first mortgage on just about everything else.
Oh, it doesn't seem possible you could learn to hate a man so much in just 13,000 miles.
It's been 3 months, Pat. And if that's long enough to form the kind of a friendship we have, then it's long enough for anything.
Even for falling in love?
You too?
It's too bad she isn't twins. Then there could be one for each of us.
I haven't seen her tonight, have you?
Well, she went to her cabin right after dinner. She said she was feeling overly tired again.
I don't think she's a very well girl, Pat.
Well, at least she's made a speedy recovery tonight.
Yvonne! Yvonne!
Well, are you feeling a mite better, me love?
If I were dying, I could not miss the last night out.
Oh, the California sunshine will fix you up right quick.
I hope so, after spending my last sou for passage.
No, you got nothing to worry about, me darling. Levi's got enough merchandise in the hold to open the finest dry goods store in San Francisco. And I'll be arriving there with richer hides and fancier fittings than any other harness maker in the whole West. We'll soon be coining money.
And we'll see to it that you live like a queen.
I will live like a working girl. I intend finding a job. Ah! Something is wrong.
It must be. And I'm going to find out what it is right now.
I'm sorry, sir. No passengers are allowed below deck.
Why? What's happened?
Something rammed into us in the fog. Ripped the hull.
Oh, we've got to get below then.
Everything we own in the world is in the hold.
I'm afraid, gentlemen, that the only thing that's left in the hold right now is water.
Oh, Ivan. Well, you must be the last passenger off the ship. Eli was under the impression he'd come ashore more than an hour ago.
I went back for this. Pat, were you and Levi able to rescue any of your belongings?
Everything of mine was washed overboard. And these crates are all that's left from the merchandise for Levi's store. And there can't be much in the way of dry goods in them. He's gone over to the insurance company now to see what they do about it.
It's classified as an act of God. The policies aren't worth the paper they're written on.
Well, I guess I'd better write a letter to me mother, telling her I've arrived safe and sound.
Well, we'd better find a good rooming house for our poor, damp little angel just as soon as...
What is it?
The water hasn't done one bit of harm to this whole trade of canvas.
Well, you can't open much of a dry goods store with just canvas.
Don't you realize that half of the houses in San Francisco are built with canvas sides? And the other half, they'll buy that to recover the Conestoga wagons they used coming out to California.
You're right, lad.
Oh, you are very clever, Levi. Soon you will be a big, important businessman here.
Soon, Pat and I will both be big, important businessmen. And, Pat, you can still write your mother that you'll have the best harness shop here in San Francisco. And I'll drop my brothers a short note and tell them I wasn't so stupid when I insisted upon bringing crates of canvas along. Boy!
Si, senor.
Will you watch this stuff for a while?
Si, for this I would watch it forever.
I won't be gone that long. And it won't be forever before we move you out of that boarding house and into a palace either.
Look, me Arab.
Will you leave that stuff alone, you young devil?
What's the difference? Nobody but Petrito has the slightest interest in even a yard of it.
I wonder if I could get a job on a ship working me way back east.
It's going to be tough going home after being in such a hurry to write my brothers how smart I was.
Well, I didn't think I still have any passengers left to say goodbye to.
Oh, by the saints, I didn't recognize you without your officer's uniform.
Well, I'm getting rid of it for good. I'm following their lead. Those that have abandoned their ships and headed for the gold fields.
Good luck to you.
Well, that answers why no one's bought any canvas for their homes. No sense in buying it when they can get it free from abandoned ships.
Yeah, it'd still be hard to make off with enough for a top for one of them covered wagons.
And it's a cinch they all need recovering after crossing half of the continent.
Pardon me usted, senor. This is very simple. No one recovers covered wagons because no one is going back.
And I had to have you tell me how badly I underestimated my fellow men. Pat, they've come here from 4 corners of the earth. But they're Californians now. And no matter how tough the going gets, they are sticking it out here.
Well, now, the sons of Aaron have never turned tail.
Nor those of Israel.
Me too. This day, you find a job?
No one wants to hire a man who's going into business for himself at the earliest opportunity. Well, I had to be open about it.
Maybe you're too open. You have any luck?
I've been to visit...
Well, I have the good news.
Oh, darling.
Pardon me for barging in, but one cannot knock on a tent flap.
What's the good news?
I got a job in the office of the navigation company. I have started work already today. Are you not happy for me?
Why, of course we are. Yvonne, you think you're well enough?
Well, of course I am. But all the work does is make me ravenous. Is no one going to invite me to stay for supper tonight?
Oh, well, sure.
There's enough. Next week, when I get my first salary, I take you all out to dinner.
No. We couldn't allow that.
What kind of men do you think we are? Oh, no.
You have been feeding me ever since we have arrived in San Francisco. And you will be my guest at dinner a week from tonight, or I will never...
What's the matter? Yvonne, get some water, quick. Yvonne, you all right?
It is nothing. The excitement of the new job. I'll be all right. There's no need to worry. Is a doctor upstairs with Yvonne? She is sick. I tell the doctor you are waiting here. He says you not come up and excite patient. He be down momentito.
I don't like it, Pat. I'm worried.
Well, I'm worried too.
Which one of you is the husband?
Neither one of us.
Yes.
Well, I must have misconstrued what the boy said. But in any event, that girl will have to quit her job and leave San Francisco at once. But she probably won't live long enough to be anyone's bride.
Is it truly that bad, Doctor?
Well, I don't think it's a question of today or tomorrow, but she should get away from these coastal fogs as soon as possible. She's going to need expert medical care and a special diet.
I see.
I'm sorry to be the bearer of such bad news, but I always think it's better to know. Good day.
It is better to know. Pedrito, you run upstairs and tell Yvonne that Pat will be with her in a minute.
See.
What about you?
I couldn't stand to face her and say goodbye.
Goodbye. What? You mean you're walking out on us?
Pat, everything the doctor mentioned is expensive, and we're broke. I'm going to the gold fields. I don't know a thing about mining, Pat, but I love Yvonne so much. I'll dig that stuff out of the rocks with my fingernails if I have to.
How's it going, Levi?
Been in town?
Yeah, there weren't no mail for you this time neither, Levi. Reckon she must have married the other man.
Maybe she did.
Oh, I was just kidding. I didn't even know it was a girl's letter you was waiting for.
That's all right. Her marrying someone else isn't what's worrying me most.
Well, why should it? There's always another woman, just like there's always new diggings.
I think I've tried all the diggings. Moke's Hill, Angels Camp, Murphy's, half of Mariposa County. And I've got smashed knuckles and frostbitten fingers for every ounce of gold in my poke.
Well, at least you found some.
Not 1/10 of what I need. It's no use. I'll never make it as a miner.
Your mind's made up, eh?
Just now, I'm going back to San Francisco. It's better to know.
Levi! Well, now... Well, aren't you glad to see me?
Yes. I'm just surprised that you're still here. I thought you and Yvonne had gotten married and...
Faith, I wish it were true.
But I went right from the stage depot to the rooming house, and they told me you'd moved her out over a month ago.
Well, the truth of the matter is I couldn't afford to pay her board bill any longer. And when Pedrito's aunt and uncle offered to take her in...
She's living at their house? Why, they've got so many kids they didn't have enough room for Pedrito. Well, at least this'll pay for her room rent and maybe some of the other things she'll be needing.
No. Wait a minute, lad. There's something I'd better be telling you. That sack of yours would have to be filled with rubies to do Yvonne much good now.
She's worse? But why didn't you write and tell me?
Well, she asked me not to, and well, I knew that if you struck it rich, we'd be hearing from you, but... Oh, Levi, I've been worried sick about trying to raise the money.
How much and how soon?
Enough for transportation to some other climate and medicine and special food and constant attention. Oh, 100 other things that I've clean forgot. And only yesterday, the doctor told me that the end of this very week would be our deadline.
Any word from my brothers?
Oh. There's a bill of lading, but it'll be months before the merchandise arrives.
Maybe with the gold I've got and the promise of merchandise, it may be enough.
Now, what thoughts have you got in your mind now, lad?
It's not exactly a thought, Pat. It's more like a prayer. Well, here we are.
Why a store?
There's a room in the back that'll be just perfect for you, Yvonne. And this way we can look in on you every minute or so around the clock.
I took all the gold that Levi dug, but the first month's rent is paid.
And I've got a long-term lease on it, too.
The best chair in the whole house. I think maybe this company, it will be a long time in the future, no?
Oh, not at all. With a store in a good location and a bill of lading to prove I'll have goods to sell here, why, everyone will think I have plenty of money. So I shouldn't have any trouble borrowing some.
Oh, but you went to all the bankers in San Francisco before.
A new bank just opened. It's down the street, as a matter of fact.
You are talking about that terrible man you fought on the ship?
Well, yes, but, well, Leacock is not holding a grudge.
And when he has seen you, do you think he would be fooled into believing you are the success?
Well, I used to be a tailor. Maybe I could make myself a new suit.
Out of what? That canvas?
I could dye it. If I had some dye.
My aunt! I think maybe she has some.
Good. Everything is settled now. Except getting you to your boudoir.
I better get to my aunts for the dye, eh?
Mademoiselle?
Merci.
Well, that's good dye the Perdido got. You don't have to worry about getting caught in the rain, Levi.
No, but I'm getting worried about getting to Leacock's office on time. My, what the dickens is keeping that boy? I mean, it shouldn't take that long to get one spool of thread. Oh, Pat, you're gonna wear it out with all that polishing. All I need is enough thread to sew on some pockets.
Well, what's the matter with these?
They're just flaps. I mean, who had time to sew on real pockets? I figured to make patch pockets on the pants. I mean, after all, I can't have the bill of lading and the lease sticking out of my coat pocket like a porcupine. I have to have pants pockets.
Well, what can we do about it? Rivet them on?
Well, why not?
Why not what?
Rivet them on.
You mean that, lad?
Of course I do. With rivets, they certainly won't come off.
Well, anything you say.
How do they look?
Why, they look fine.
Good. May even set a new style. I'm off.
Hey.
Come in.
I'm leaving now.
Levi, even if you should get this loan, it would not be all right to spend any of it on me.
I am getting it. And until the business gets along, I'll spend as much of it as it takes to make you well. Now then, what I came back for was to ask if you thought I looked all right.
You look wonderful, Levi. No banker in the world could possibly turn down a man as prosperous looking and as fine as you.
Thank you.
It's an airtight lease, of course, and the store's in a good location.
Well, I figured if you chose Sacramento Street for your bank, it had to be the best.
Yes. Well, this is quite a large shipment your brothers have consigned to you.
Then you'll approve the loan?
It should be, but it won't.
Well, what is that supposed to mean?
Well, you see, I pride myself on knowing the good credit risks in San Francisco from the bad, Mr. Strauss. And I've kept tabs on you. You get rid of those liabilities of yours, and I'll reconsider your loan application.
My liabilities?
That shiftless Irishman, that little Mexican beggar, and that sick French girl who's been living off you. After all, I'm not financing your charity ward for impoverished foreigners.
Foreigners? We're all foreigners out here. There wouldn't be any United States without foreigners, Leacock. But I've got an idea that we could do without the likes of you. Deposits and withdrawals, accounts payable, money. That's the only thing that counts, not people. We may be born under different signs, but we all live by the dollar sign. Why, there's even a price tag on everything we eat and drink.
That advertisement do something to you, mister? Whatever it is, it'll seem a lot less serious tomorrow.
That's the trouble, it won't. I guess money worries got me a little hot under the collar. Thanks for stopping me before I made a bigger fool out of myself.
We'll clear a path for you. Show's over, folks. Head back to your own corral. You shouldn't have any money worries after you open up. Not if you sell pants like those you're wearing.
These pants?
You're just the thing for the range.
And you'd sell a heap of them to miners, too, Levi.
Them rivets look good and strong.
Rivets?
Yeah, rivets.
Gentlemen, step inside.
For the love of saints, what's this all about?
Rivets.
Rivets.
Will you tell him what you just told me?
Well, you could sure carry as many ore samples as you wanted without ripping off them riveted pockets.
Riveted pockets.
Pants you can buy now ain't worth a hoot up in the diggings.
They'd be first rate for carpentry work. As a matter of fact, any laboring man would be glad to get a pair.
But you mean we're going into the pants business?
Well, if these gentlemen will be kind enough to give us their names, their sizes, and $1 apiece, we are in the pants business.
I sure buy a pair for $1.
Me too.
I want a pair just like Levi's now.
Here's mine.
Here, son.
I want to do a month right here at the back. I want a pair for my brother. Mine's 32 in the waist, and I want you to ring the whole week right back here.
Oh, that commotion, Levi, what is it?
Success, knocking our door down.
It sounds wonderful.
It is wonderful. Now we'll have all the money we'll ever need.
Oh, Levi.
Unfortunately, Ivan didn't live long enough to see that pants like Levi's become an integral part of the West. Levi Strauss never married, but he founded a company which since the late 1850s, when this pair was made, has turned out over 150 million pairs of Levi's.